Sean Brushes, conceived November 4, 1970, New York, New York, U.S. American rapper, record maker, entertainer, and attire originator, who established a diversion realm during the 1990s. Brushes was brought up in Harlem in New York City, where his dad was killed when Brushes was 3. After 9 years, the family moved to rural Mount Vernon, New York, where Brushes went to private academy and, as far as anyone knows, got the epithet Puffy for his propensity for puffing up his chest during football training. He went to Howard College in Washington, D.C., yet he passed on school following 2 years to turn into an understudy at Uptown Keeps in New York City. In no less than a year, he had climbed to VP. In December 1991, 9 individuals were killed and 29 were harmed as groups drove their direction into a foundation ball game Brushes had advanced at the City School of New York. In 1993, Brushes was terminated from Uptown, and he turned his energies to his own name, Awful Kid Amusement. He before long found and got to know a road trickster named Christopher Wallace, who rapped as Big Deal Smalls and recorded as the infamous B.I.G. By 1994, Wallace was a rising rap star, and Brushes had arranged a $15 million arrangement to move Terrible Kid to Arista Records, which acquired him a developing expansive standing as a rap producer and business visionary. In spring 1997, the famous B.I.G. was killed, and Brushes' most memorable collection, No Chance to Get Out, delivered that late spring under the moniker Puff Daddy, incorporated the Grammy-winning single I'll Be Missing You, a melodic commendation highlighting the voice of Wallace's widow, and the tune from the Police's Each Breath You Take. A few additional singles from No Chance to Get Out overwhelmed the pop graphs in 1997. In 1998, Brushes visited on the side of No Chance to Get Out and kept up with his presence on the wireless transmissions. For the film Godzilla, he enrolled guitarist Jimmy Page to compose the single Accompany Me, a deafening modifying of Page's driven blimp tune Kashmir. That year, Brushes brought back home 2 Grammy grants for Rap Collection, No Chance to Get Out, and Rap Execution, I'll Be Missing You, and he likewise sent off the Sean John clothing line. Lawful difficulties, in any case, before long eclipsed Brushes' music and design accomplishments. In 1999, he was seen as somewhat at risk for the city school rush and was made to pay settlements on a few coming-about claims. Soon thereafter, he confessed to second-degree badgering after a quarrel with a record organization chief, and in December 1999, he was available during a taking shots at a Manhattan club. Accused of a few wrongdoings, including unlawful firearm ownership, he was vindicated in 2001, all things considered. He consequently made an emblematic break with his past by expecting the stage name P. Diddy and delivering his subsequent collection, The Adventure Proceeds, 2001. He guaranteed his 3rd Grammy in 2004 for his cooperation with the rapper Nelly Cornell Haynes Jr. on Shake Your Tail Feather. And soon thereafter, he was respected by the Committee of Style Planners of America as their Menswear Fashioner of the Year. He dropped the P from his name in 2005 and delivered his 3rd collection, Press Play, the next year as Diddy. His 2010 collection, Last Train to Paris, recorded with the female vocal gathering Grimy Cash, went on in the group's satisfying famous vein of his past endeavors. It layered rap with house and disco beats to make a progression of danceable tracks inexactly organized around the subject of an upset relationship. Brushes proceeded with his trial and error on one more cooperative collection, 1111, 2014, delivered by Israeli techno maker Fellow Gerber. However, restored nearer to genuine hip-jump structure with the mixtape 2015. The mixtape, delivered free of charge online under the name Puff Daddy, highlighted various joint efforts. Notwithstanding his music vocation, Brushes at times acted. In 2001, he showed up as a death row prisoner in the widely praised Beast's Ball. He later depicted a record chief in the parody Get Him to the Greek, 2010, and a games specialist in the football show Draft Day, 2014. His TV credits incorporated the 2008 transformation of Lorraine Hansberry's play A Raisin in the Sun and visitor appearances on different shows. In 2016, he filled in as a guide on the vocal contest series The Voice. He then turned into an appointed authority on the Fight for Fame, which circulated for 2 seasons in 2018. Following 2 years spent at Howard College, Brushes exited in 1990 as a business major. He then turned into an understudy at New York's Uptown Records. As an ability chief at Uptown, he was instrumental in Jodeci and Mary J. Blige's profession achievement. During this time, Brushes was likewise known to toss huge gatherings with large number of orderlies. Brushes advanced a guides pledge drive close by Wadey D at the City School of New York gym after a foundation b-ball game. The occasion was sold out, and a rush caused the demise of 9 individuals. 1993 saw Brushes terminated from Uptown. He then, at that point, made Terrible Kid Records, as in organization with Arista Records. The infamous B.I.G. was one of Brushes' most memorable signings, who delivered hit singles and fruitful LPs by means of the mark. Brushes then, at that point, proceeded to sign additional demonstrations to Awful Kid from any semblance of Carl Thomas to Father MC. The Contract Killers Brushes creation group worked with artists that proceeded to be around the world, perceived in later life like Mary J. Blige, Usher, Mariah Carey, and Boys I Men. A competition prepared halfway through the 90s between Terrible Kid and the West Coast Death Row Records. Tupac Shakur and the infamous B.I.G. had a quarrel between one another during this period. Brushes' most memorable business function as a rapper came in 1997 as Puff Daddy. His introduction single, Might No One at Any Point Hold Me Down, held the best position on the U.S. board. His presentation record, No Chance to Get Out, was revamped decisively after the homicide of the famous B.I.G. on Spring 7, 1997, preceding its delivery by means of his name in July. The collection topped at #1 on the U.S. Bulletin 200 in its most memorable week. 1998 saw Searches win the Grammy grant for Best Rap Collection, with the collection being confirmed septuple platinum by the RIAA for deals of more than 7 million duplicates. After a year, Brushes was accused of the attack of rapper Nas's overseer Steve Stout of Interscope Records over an evidently profane music video. Brushes was condemned to go to an Outrage the Executives class. In August 1999, Brushes' next collection, entitled Perpetually, sent off and crested at #2 in the USA. In December of that year, gunfire broke out at a club New York in Manhattan while Brushes and his then-sweetheart Jennifer Lopez were inside. Brushes was subsequently accused of 4 weapons-related charges close by individual rapper Shine. Brushes was subsequently tracked down not blameworthy on all charges, while Shine was indicted and condemned to a decade in jail. Brushes and Lopez isolated before long. Brushes changed his stage name from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy in 2001. He likewise gazed in the 2001 movies Made and Beast's Ball. June of that year saw Brushes eliminate the relationship between Awful Kid Amusement and Arista Records, thus giving him full control of the mark and its specialists.